at a high level, like how can folks sort of think about competitive intelligence, and when should an organization start to say, you know what, it's time that we deploy that? Or maybe is it day one? Do we have, you know, of a marketer's time 10%, let's say, or 5% dedicated day one to competitive intelligence?
Yeah, it has to be a pretty consistent thing for sure if you're actually going to make it a part of someone's role. But the thing is, you really need to have some kind of cadence as soon as possible or as early as possible. I don't know if you need to call it like a formal program, but you should have somebody that is routinely checking on the market, right? I mean, there's a reason why in most cases, like when you're pitching to investors, you talk about the market landscape, like who are the competitors that are already in the space? Who are the incumbents? What are people already using? And there's a reason why you have to touch on that kind of stuff. And so for the same reason, you should have somebody who's able to like kind of analyze the space, figure out, okay, like what are people already using? What are the strengths and weaknesses of those tools relative to ours? And then how can we incorporate that into our messaging, right? Because otherwise, you can go through the whole process of, you know, uh, the other product marketing functions of, right, okay, got to write messaging, positioning, got to create buyer personas, we have to enable. But if you're ending up creating those things without any real like awareness of what's happening in the market or what your competitors are already doing, then all those things are going to kind of fall flat, or I shouldn't even say fall flat, it'll just get ignored, right?
Mm,
Because people have seen it before, or they already have a solution for that, so why would they take a look at you?
yeah.
And so that's why I try to say, like, you know at this point, right, because it's my full-time thing and it was at Zoom Info as well, like there's certain like levels of intensity that you can have, uh, that you bring into like a competitive intel program, and you don't need to have all of that when you're first starting out, but you should absolutely have like an awareness of like, okay, here's like our top five competitors that we're consistently running into or that we consistently think that we could win against, and you're staying on top of like what their strategy is and kind of how they're moving around in the market. That would be my suggestion.